Greetings. My name is Emma, and I am 42 years old. I reside in a tranquil suburban neighborhood with my husband Liam and my stepson Noah. Our life here is predominantly serene. However, I frequently experience profound loneliness within my marriage. Liam, a corporate lawyer, is perpetually occupied with back-to-back meetings, late nights at the office, and relentless deadlines. While I comprehend the pressures and responsibilities associated with his profession, it affords us scant time as a couple, often rendering me a mere observer in my own existence. Please subscribe to my channel to receive more captivating true stories like this one, and remember to watch this video. Until the conclusion, this narrative promises to be profoundly engaging. There was a period when Liam and I shared a deep connection filled with laughter, aspirations, and intimate moments. We constructed a life together, rich in love and companionship. However, at some point, the spark diminished. Our evenings became colder and quieter, characterized by silence rather than the warm dialogues we once enjoyed. I often lay awake, gazing at the ceiling, contemplating what had gone awry. Despite everything, I found myself yearning for a warmth that had seemingly vanished from our relationship. Prior to commencing the story, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more enthralling tales that delve into the complexities of human emotions and relationships. A few days later, while my husband Liam was out for another late-night meeting, I once again found myself alone at home. The house felt unnervingly quiet, the stillness almost tangible, and my thoughts consumed me as I reflected. Recently, I experienced an electrifying encounter with my stepson Noah, which stirred emotions I had long suppressed. I yearned for the exhilaration of desire and a sense of vitality that had been absent from my existence. In a bid to alleviate the mounting tension within me, I opted for a lengthy, soothing bath, filled the tub with warm water, and lit a few scented candles, allowing the soft glow and fragrant steam to envelop me, creating an atmosphere of tranquility. The soothing warmth of the water caressed my skin as I sank into the tub, my body relaxing into the comforting embrace of the warm water, yet my mind drifted back to Noah. The way his hands had explored my body, the passion in his kisses, the way he made me feel so alive and so desired. It was intoxicating, and the memory sent a rush of heat coursing through me. I closed my eyes, imagining his touch and the desire that had sparked between us. The warmth of the water mixed with the warmth in my core as I recalled the way he had looked at me, his gaze filled with longing and something deeper. A part of me was terrified, but another part craved that thrill, that connection. I was drawn to him like a moth to a flame, and I couldn't shake the feelings that had begun to awaken inside me. Suddenly, I heard a soft knock at the bathroom door, and my heart raced as I quickly sat up, water sloshing around me. "Who is the individual?" I called, attempting to appear indifferent. However, I could detect the quiver in my voice. Noah responded, his voice smooth and inviting. I experienced a thrill at the sound of it, my pulse quickening. "What do you want?" I inquired. Maintaining a light tone despite my inner excitement, I inquired about your well-being, noting your prolonged presence. His voice conveyed concern intertwined with an additional sentiment that quickened my heartbeat. I paused to regain my composure, attempting to suppress my emotions, yet the anticipation remained palpable. "I am well," I replied. "I'm just bathing to cleanse my cheeks." Blushing at the notion of him standing outside the door, there was a little pause before he inquired again. "May I enter? I merely desire to see you, my beloved." My heart momentarily faltered, upon realizing he stood outside the door. Before I could respond, he opened it and entered with a self-assured gait. My breath hitched as I observed his disheveled hair, the snug t-shirt accentuating his physique, and those penetrating blue eyes that appeared to scrutinize me, rendering me vulnerable in an unforeseen manner. "I thought you might desire some company," he remarked. His gaze wandered to the flickering candles surrounding the room. I was astonished by his audacity, sensing the atmosphere grow tense. "I don't know if that's a prudent idea," I stammered, my heart racing as I attempted to appear composed, despite an overwhelming desire to draw him closer. "Come on, we're alone." For a brief moment, he encouraged me to step closer. I sensed the heat emanating from him, and the atmosphere became charged, awakening a profound yearning within me. The desire that had accumulated over the preceding days reignited, compelling me to be near him. I could already perceive the intensity of his longing, which accelerated my heartbeat. "Okay," I finally whispered, astonished by my own audacity. "But just for a little while." As he advanced, I noticed his gaze descend toward the water. "I can't help but wonder what it would feel like to join you in there," he said, his voice low and teasing, sending shivers down my spine. I swallowed hard, my heart pounding as I imagined just that. "What if Liam comes home?" I asked, trying to sound practical but secretly wanting him to disregard my concern. "Then we'll just have to be quiet," he suggested, his smirk widening as he leaned even closer, the warmth of his body radiating against my skin. Before I could respond, he reached out his fingers, grazing my arm, igniting a fire within me. "Please just let me in," he said, his voice laced with a longing that echoed in my heart. I hesitated, caught between the thrill of desire and the weight of my conscience. But the thrill of his touch was too much to resist. I murmured, my voice shaky, but just for a moment, without another word, Noah stood up, shedding his t-shirt and stepping into the tub beside me. The warm water swirled around us as our bodies drew closer, and the intimate setting heightened the electricity in the air. I felt the world outside fade away as we locked gazes, the water splashing around us, his body inches from mine. "This feels nice," he said softly, his fingers brushing against my thigh, igniting a fire within me that I had long thought extinguished. "It does," I replied, my breath hitching as he moved closer. Our bodies now mere inches apart in that moment. The tension broke, and he leaned in, capturing my lips with his. Kiss was soft at first, a gentle exploration of unspoken desire, but it quickly deepened as passion surged between us. My hands found their way to his shoulders, pulling him in closer as I melted against him, feeling the warmth of the water enveloped us. Our kisses became more urgent, a dance of longing and desire that felt like a release from the loneliness I had been feeling for so long. I could feel his hands roaming over my back, then my chest, and he pressed my chest and started kissing there. Igniting sensations I had long forgotten, the intoxicating thrill of being so close to him was almost overwhelming, and I surrendered to it. "Completely, Noah," I murmured between kisses, as the intensity between us intensified, threatening to engulf us both. He muttered, his lips gliding down my neck, eliciting tremors throughout my body. "Just enjoy this." I shut my eyes, immersing myself in the sensations he was eliciting. Each kiss and touch seemed like flames, awakening something profound within me. My fingers intertwined in his hair as he drew me closer, our bodies aligning as if destined for this moment. With each kiss, the external world dissipated, leaving only the two of us entwined in the warm water. My heart raced as his hands traversed my body, gliding down my arms and back to my face, cradling me gently as our kisses intensified. "God, I've longed for this," he murmured, his lips grazing mine before deepening the kiss once more. "Me too," I confessed, feeling both vulnerable and exhilarated by the moment's intensity. I clung to him tightly, experiencing a surge of excitement as his hands roamed, exploring my body in ways that invigorated me. The boundaries I had established began to blur, and I surrendered to the fervor of the moment. I also grasped his member. He felt elated as he applied the body wash to my skin, his hands gradually descending towards my hips, while the water cascaded around us, intensifying the feelings. Suddenly, a loud bang interrupted the moment, causing us both to freeze. I heard the unmistakable sound of the front door opening, and my heart sank. "Liam," I gasped, dread overwhelming my senses. Noah swiftly withdrew, his eyes wide, as we both hurried to regain our composure. "What actions do we undertake?" he inquired, his voice taut with eagerness. "Hi," I replied with a hiss. Indicating the shower curtain, we swiftly repositioned, both of us crouching below it, our hearts beating as we held our breath, hoping Liam would not enter the bathroom. I could perceive the sound of his movement, calling throughout the house, "Emma, are you present?" The tension was palpable as we snuggled together, feeling the heat emanating from one another. My heart raced, fueled not just by dread, but also by the exhilaration of recent events. I could sense Noah's warmth. The breath on my neck ignited a surge of adrenaline as Liam entered the bathroom. I shut my eyes tightly, hoping we would remain undetected. He began washing his hands at the sink, completely oblivious to the turmoil occurring behind the curtain. The sound of running water served as a stark reminder of our precarious situation. After what felt like an eternity, Liam finished and exited, the door clicking shut behind him. Noah and I exchanged a relieved glance, our hearts still racing from the narrow escape. "That was close," Noah whispered, his voice thick with excitement. "I can't believe we just did that," I responded. Feeling a rush of adrenaline mixed with desire, my body was still humming from the encounter, and I felt exhilarated by the danger of it all. "Do you want to continue?" he asked, his gaze intense and filled with longing. I hesitated, knowing the risks involved, but also feeling the undeniable pull toward him. "Yes," I whispered, my voice barely audible. We stepped out from behind the curtain, our eyes locked, the tension crackling in the air. I took a rush of adrenaline mixed with desire. My body was still humming from the encounter, and I felt exhilarated by the danger of it all. "Do you want to continue?" he asked, his gaze intense and filled with longing. I hesitated, knowing the risks involved, but also feeling the undeniable pull towards him. "Yes," I whispered, my voice barely audible. We stepped out from behind the curtain, our eyes locked. The tension crackling in the eye took a step toward him, my heart racing as I reached out, pulling him into another kiss. As our lips met again, I felt a thrill of excitement this time. It was different. It was no longer just a secret. It was a connection, a passion that couldn't be denied. And I was ready to embrace it no matter the consequences. I could feel the urgency in his movements as he kissed me deeply, and I surrendered to the moment, allowing myself to feel everything I had been holding back for so long. A few days later, it was late afternoon, and the sun streamed through the kitchen window as I prepared dinner. The scent of sautéed vegetables filled the air, a stark contrast to the lingering excitement from our last encounter. I found myself daydreaming, recalling every touch and kiss. The way Noah had made me feel so alive. As I stirred the pot on the stove, I heard the front door creak open. The familiar sound of Noah's footfall caused my heart to race as he entered the kitchen with a mischievous smile. "What smells so good?" he inquired, leaning against the counter. "Just making some dinner," I responded, attempting to maintain my composure. "How was your day?" "Long and tedious," he replied. He remarked, his eyes shimmering with mischief, that my presence enhances the atmosphere. I inquired, intrigued, "What do you mean?" He advanced, his presence radiating warmth in the already inviting kitchen. "Being here with you invariably improves my day," he replied, his voice soft and enticing. His gaze elicited a flurry of butterflies in my stomach, rekindling memories of our clandestine moments. I redirected my attention to the stove, attempting to appear occupied, yet my heart raced uncontrollably. "You're just saying that," I replied, attempting to deflect the intensity of his gaze. "No, I'm serious." He insisted on moving even closer until he was just behind me. "I can't stop thinking about you and about us." His words filled me with excitement, and I couldn't resist glancing over my shoulder at him. Noah leaned in, saying, "We can't keep doing this. It's complicated." He rested his chin on my shoulder, the warmth of his body radiating onto my back. "Why not? We both desire this, do we not?" I briefly closed my eyes, relishing the warmth, the alluring scent of his cologne, and the palpable chemistry between us. "I desire it," I confessed, my voice scarcely a whisper, "but it's perilous." "Occasionally, the most rewarding experiences entail some risk," he murmured, his lips grazing my ear, eliciting shivers along my spine. "Let us simply relish this moment while we can." I inhaled deeply, my heart racing as I contemplated his words. He was correct. I had yearned for this connection, this spark of passion that revitalized me. My heart surged with desire, and I found myself succumbing to his magnetism. "Okay," I whispered, turning to confront him fully. The atmosphere thickened with anticipation as I examined his eyes, which reflected a blend of hope and longing. "Just for tonight." A victorious smile illuminated his face, and before I could reconsider, he grasped my hand, guiding me from the kitchen down the hallway to my bedroom. The thrill of discovery hovered in the background of my mind, but the moment's allure overshadowed my reservations. Once inside my room, he gently closed and locked the door. The ambiance transformed instantly, the energy tangible as he faced me, his expression both serious and ravenous. "I have contemplated this moment for days," he declared, stepping closer, his fingers brushing against mine as I slipped my hands into his trousers. Attempting to awaken him to satisfy my desires, the distance between us dissipated as he encircled my waist, drawing me closer until our bodies were in contact. Without uttering a single word, his lips found mine, and I yielded to him, feeling an intense surge of desire pulsing through my veins. My hands ventured beneath his shirt as our kisses intensified, rendering the external world non-existent, leaving only the two of us entwined in our fervor. Each kiss ignited a flame within me, a longing that had been simmering just beneath the surface as our embraces became increasingly passionate, and he began to explore my body. His touch ignited every nerve ending. I moaned against his mouth as he massaged my back, moving me closer till I could feel his heartbeat. "God, you're beautiful," he muttered. Between kisses, his hands finding the hem of my shirt. "I can't get enough of you, Noah." I breathed the thrill of his touch, sending waves of heat coursing through me. "We really shouldn't just let it happen," he urged, his voice husky with desire. "Let's forget about everything else just for tonight." In one swift motion, he lifted my shirt over my head, his gaze roaming over my body with unabashed admiration. I felt a rush of vulnerability mixed with excitement as I stood before him, exposed and beautiful in his eyes. With a soft gasp, I felt his lips against my skin. trailing kisses down my collarbone. Each touch ignited a fire within me. My hands roamed over his back, feeling the muscles beneath his shirt, longing to touch every part of him. With that, he captured my lips again, his hands moving to my back to unfasten my bra. The feeling of the strap slipping away sent enough rush of heat through me as he pushed the fabric aside, his fingers brushing against my skin. He broke the kiss to look at me, his expression filled with awe. "You're incredible," he murmured, his eyes filled with desire. "I want you," I confessed. Experiencing audacity and imprudence at that moment let us create an indelible memory. He spoke, his voice laden with yearning, as he kissed me once more, this time with greater fervor, exploring every facet of my mouth while our bodies intertwined. The external world completely vanished as I became enraptured by him. Our kisses intensified as he pressed me against the wall, his hands traversing my body as though he were uncovering each part of me anew. Time became irrelevant as we yielded to our passions, the exhilaration of our union propelling us both to the brink. I felt invigorated, desired, and wholly enveloped by the bond we shared. Eventually, he withdrew, breathless, and took my hand, guiding me to the bed. "Are you ready?" he inquired, his eyes filled with yearning. "Yes," I murmured, my heart racing with anticipation. We collapsed onto the bed, our bodies intertwined, and the exhilaration of our action surged through me. It was a dance of passion and desire, a moment that felt both illicit and thrilling. As we surrendered to one another, I realized this was merely the inception of our passionate escapade, a thrilling secret that would transform everything between us, and I was prepared to embrace it fully, regardless of the outcome. Days morphed into weeks, and our encounters became increasingly frequent. Each moment we seized together was akin to a breath of fresh air, a fleeting escape from reality. We discovered solace in stolen glances, gentle touches, and fervent kisses that left us both breathless. One evening, after a particularly exhilarating meeting, we lay entwined in bed, the soft glow of moonlight filtering through the curtains as I traced my fingers along Noah's chest. I can feel the warmth radiating from him. "What are our intentions?" I inquired, disrupting the serene silence, the question laden with implications. He responded, his voice unwavering for the first time in an extended period. I smiled at his reply, yet uncertainty gnawed at the periphery of my contentment. "But what occurs if someone discovers?" I asked, my tone laced with apprehension. "Then we shall confront it," he asserted, elevating my chin to meet his gaze. "I am unafraid of my desires." Your remarks elicited a surge of warmth. I sensed imminent danger through him, and I confessed my sentiments, acknowledging their gravity. Nonetheless, this situation transcends mere amusement. To me, it signifies something. He nodded, his countenance grave. I also find it significant, reminding us not to let fear stand in our way. We have the right to happiness. The sincerity in his voice alleviated my concerns. I leaned in, seizing his lips in a hot kiss. The intensity of our connection increased, and I lost myself in the moment, forgetting all my doubts as we kissed and feeling a sense of liberty. In the ensuing weeks, we crafted our own narrative, imbued with passion, desire, and the allure of the forbidden. We discovered methods to sustain our connection amidst the tumult of our daily lives. Each clandestine moment became increasingly invaluable. I anticipated our encounters with a blend of exhilaration and trepidation. I relished the excitement of our secret rendezvous, captivated by Noah's gaze, which radiated desire and admiration. Each kiss and touch rekindled the dormant fire within me. However, despite my efforts to concentrate on our shared joy, the reality of our circumstances loomed large. I remained preoccupied with the unsettling notion that we were existing on borrowed time, teetering on the brink of disaster. Occasionally, I would ponder the implications of Liam discovering the truth. His reaction would undoubtedly be one of anger. Would he understand, or would he see me as a betrayer, someone who had crossed an inconceivable boundary one evening? My mind raced as I prepared dinner. With thoughts of Noah, I sliced vegetables with a mechanical rhythm, yet my thoughts were worlds away just then. Liam entered the kitchen, his presence grounding me in reality. "Hello, dear," he whispered, bestowing a soft kiss on my cheek. "What is for dinner?" I simply stated that I had prepared pasta and salad, forcing a smile as he entered the kitchen. We resumed our familiar banter, but I sensed an increasing emotional distance. Secrets burdened my heart, and it felt like I was wearing a mask, feigning normalcy while turmoil simmered beneath. After dinner, I excused myself, citing fatigue. I withdrew to my chamber. I sat on the side of the bed, my thoughts racing as I replayed the moments Noah and I had shared. His touch, his kiss, the way he made me feel alive. I already missed him. At that moment, my phone buzzed with a message. It was from Noah. "May we meet tonight?" My heart raced at the prospect of experiencing the exhilarating thrill of meeting him again. That electric connection was irresistibly alluring. I quickly responded, "Yes, I will be waiting." The night progressed, and the anticipation intensified. I perceived Liam's movements within me. The household was engrossed in television in the living room, entirely oblivious to the schemes transpiring behind closed doors. As the clock struck 10, my heart raced upon hearing a gentle knock on my bedroom door. Emma, Noah's voice, was scarcely audible. I opened the door to find him standing there, looking as handsome as I recalled. Tension charged the atmosphere the moment our eyes met. Without saying a word, I drew him inside and shut the door. Isolating oneself from the external environment. "What if Liam observes you?" I whispered, my voice imbued with urgency. "He won't," he assured me, stepping closer. The warmth of his body radiated towards me, and I sensed the magnetic pull between us. I just needed to see you before I could respond. He closed the distance, capturing my lips in a fervent kiss. The world outside faded as I melted into him, experiencing the familiar rush of desire. Our kisses intensified, and I felt the burdens of everything else dissipate as we stumbled toward the bed. My thoughts became muddled. The thrill of secrecy and the intoxicating warmth of his body overwhelmed my senses. We collapsed onto the bed, engulfed in a whirlwind of kisses and caresses. I felt alive, exhilarated, and utterly consumed by our connection. However, as quickly as the passion ignited, a flicker of doubt appeared at the edge of my mind. Could this all have been a mistake? What if I were compromising everything I had constructed with Liam, yet at that moment, none of it held significance? I yearned to remain with Noah, immersed in this delicious reality where I felt desirable and alive. Hours elapsed while we lay intertwined. In each other's embrace, the burdens of the external world faded away. I recognized the necessity of contemplating the ramifications of my life with Liam. Yet, in Noah's arms, I felt an overwhelming sense of perfection. The intimacy we enjoyed was unparalleled in years, yet the reality of the situation gradually emerged, leading me to suffer a twinge of remorse, Noah stated. Gently disrupting the serene stillness, I inquired, "What are we doing?" He gazed down at me, his countenance grave. "We are living, Emma. We are embracing something. It is wonderful indeed. But the situation becomes tricky if Liam discovers my inquiry," I said, my voice slightly shaking. "We will address it together," he responded assertively, as though that would rectify everything. I am unafraid of this situation. I wish to trust him. Though doubt lingered in my heart, I couldn't abandon my life with Liam. "He merits superior treatment," I remarked, experiencing tears. A sensation prickled at the corners of my eyelids. "Do you love him?" Noah inquired softly. The question lingered, laden with consequences. I acknowledged my concern for him. However, it is not equivalent. It has been a considerable duration since I experienced this sensation. "Perhaps it is time to confront your genuine desires," he remarked. Gently, "You are entitled to happiness, Emma." At that instant, I recognized the accuracy of his assertion. My preoccupation with the repercussions led me to overlook my own happiness. Gazing into Noah's eyes, I perceived not only desire but also a reflection of what I had been lacking in my life. "I want this," I finally declared. Experiencing a surge of courage, I desired him. His eyes glimmered with a blend of joy and relief. "Let us not squander any more time," he declared, drawing me nearer as our lips reunited. With each kiss, we vowed to cherish this intricate and beautiful connection. I recognized that the path ahead would be fraught with difficulties. Yet in that moment, with Noah beside me, I felt prepared to confront whatever challenges lay ahead. I was resolute in valuing each moment and pursuing my passions.